And welcome to another episode of Cognitive Cuisine. I don't know where Yayoi went to. Hold on. Here we go. Hey, there we go. I don't know what happened. But anyway, welcome to another episode of Cognitive Cuisine. I am Wize.
And I am Yayoi from Brain to Belly.
And like I said last episode, we're gonna start just freestyling. We have so much fun just freestyling how we do. We always start off with a topic and end up just going everywhere. But so I just felt like maybe we can start freestyling a little bit more and just have conversation and have a good time. And so you was mentioning something about K-pop, something you're watching on Netflix,
Yes.
and I'm oblivious to it. I don't really haven't been watching TV like that, except for whatever I watch on YouTube and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess what is it? One of the highest grossing shows
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Yeah, right now. And it's animation. It's for kids as it's for families as well as for
Why you
adults.
still saying this for kids? Like adults can enjoy animation. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with
Oh,
adults enjoying
yeah.
animation.
And I totally agree with you on that. So, I watched it when it first came out because of course I liked the title. It
Yeah.
was K-pop Demon Hunters. Hunters, yeah, Hunters. And I was like, "Oh, this sounds like my type of thing, right?" So I started watching. I really fell in love with it and I'd watched it a couple times and then I had downloaded the soundtrack. And then just recently, I guess this past week, it was so popular that Netflix decided to um, put it out in theaters. Like,
Oh, is it in
yeah.
theaters now?
Yeah. So it was out in theaters just for 2 days, 3 days. And they did a sing along, kind of like, well, I'm going to date myself, but kind of like Rocky Horror
Okay,
Show.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like that. So it was like a sing along, and you were in the theater, and audiences participated, and it was pretty popular. And in New York, it was pretty popular. It's like in Times Square. They even had like one of the buses with the, sing along thing going on in the buses, tour buses, and things like that. And so
That's cool.
I didn't participate in that because I was busy both days, but of course, I was following it on
But
Instagram
would
and
have you participated if you could?
yeah,
Oh,
yes, definitely. I would have been there, believe me.
well,
Yeah,
you know what? You gotta have fun and with everything and with life and period. Everything we're doing, we have to incorporate fun and enjoy life because it's too short. Like recently a friend of mine passed from work, 59 years old.
oh my gosh.
And he was a great dude. He like he was only one of the. There's like three people at work that call me by Wise at
Hmm.
work, right? Because they either watch, they've seen the
Oh,
podcast, or they've
hmm.
heard my whatever. And so he's one of the few people that would call me that and tell me to keep doing what I'm doing. He's like, "Hey, I heard this show, keep
Oh,
going," and it was amazing. And so for him to just like he was gone like he left work in March, so I was like last time I really saw him to now, and we had thought he was gonna get a little better, and it didn't. And so
I'm sorry.
it was just important to realize, like, regardless of everything in life, like it's so precious, and we say this every time we lose somebody, right? When are we gonna really truly start acting upon it? When are we gonna really start realizing, like, all right, yeah, we say this every single time someone we lose passes away. We need to really start embracing that life. We need to really start cherishing everything we do, the moments we share with the loved ones we have, and everything that's going on. So I have a trip coming up soon with the wife, and we're just gonna and just enjoy ourselves, have a good time. Towards the end, we have a surprise coming up. At the end of the month, we have something special coming up. I can't really say it
See,
out
right,
loud because if a certain person catches it, then they're gonna know. So,
right.
but it's celebrating someone in my family, and it's well deserving on her part.
Hmm.
She's done so much for my family, as in just the difference making she's been as being that matriarch of the family. So it's just a lot of different things going on that it's gonna give me time to reflect because now I'm gonna be spending the time with family and realizing like these are the moments that we shouldn't just have this not frequently. We need to have it more frequently than what we do. Basically,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just not happening enough where we say we do, and I guess me as being one of the elders, I need to start really implementing and start really pushing for it to really happen and stop talking about it.
Well, but at least you're talking about it to start the conversation, basically, right? Because a lot of people, I think you don't realize how, I guess you have to prioritize, right? Figure out what is important in your life. And as you get older, um, because I'm older than you, I could say this. But as you get older, you start realizing, there isn't much more to go, right? And we don't know when it's going to be taken away from us, too.
Yeah,
And then you start realizing, well, what isn't really important to me? Like I think I mentioned, um, during COVID, that was when I realized, wait a minute, my life kind of feels empty here. What's more important to me? And that's when I started delving more into my personal growth.
and that's something I'm coming I'm facing reality. That's like my reality coming to me is like, all right, do I really want to keep punching this time clock, or do I really want to go for my dreams and start doing the public speaking and really start engulfing myself in content creating and make that my career and make that and make it generate money so that I can quit the 9 to 5 and really focus on doing this. And that's where I'm torn. It's like, do I take that leap of faith? Like not knowing if I don't have that security blanket on the other end, or do I continue to punch in the clock and continue to dabble and but so
That's a tough one. Yeah. That's really a tough one. It took me years, and I didn't make the decision myself. It was
made
almost,
for you.
well, yeah, made for me, although I kind of projected it and I kind of magnetized it, but because I had been saying for a long time, I want to get laid off with severance. I want to get laid off with severance. Sorry if the company's hearing this, but yeah, so, but it happened, and that was my kind of like sneaky way of getting out of corporate America, I think. And but it worked for me, and yes, some months I totally, totally struggle. I won't lie about that. But, you know, I feel good that I'm things making my life what I want it to be. Yeah. And, you know, I have I have the skills to do that. So, and I'm working every day towards it, and I feel good about it. And like in the grand scheme of things, I feel so much less stress on me. Yes, I have debt, I have to pay bills and all of that. Yes, I do have that. But, there's a knowing inside of me that I'm going to be able to support myself with this.
You are, because you're amazing at what you do, and you
Thank
you
you.
got a lot of things that you're gonna finish your book, you're gonna
Yep.
launch the podcast, and
Yep.
those are gonna all be tools you're gonna use to promote yourself
Yep.
and get what get your value because
Yes.
you're worth a lot. Believe me,
Thank you.
you're
Thank you.
amazing, and
Oh,
you
thank
have
you.
enough knowledge there that people should want to work with you because I enjoy being able to spend this time with you
Thank you.
and learn and pick your brain
Thank you.
and hear all the wonderful things that you're doing. So no, it's important that yeah, like it's important that you believe in yourself. It's something that's definitely a major key for anyone who's going to be successful is believe in yourself
Yeah.
because it starts with you. If you don't believe in what you're doing, and then no, how can someone else believe in you if you don't have that confidence? Because they can tell.
Oh,
They'll tell
yeah.
that, oh no, you're not confident enough, or you
Yeah.
don't believe in like. So you have to really truly believe that you're capable of doing what you're saying you say you
Hmm.
do.
Yep. And I think, it's like if we're put in the side of the consumer, right? If we go to someone and they're kind of like wishy washy about, their product or what they can do to help you, then you're like, huh? Right?
But yeah, but see, one of we've discussed like this has been something we've discussed before
Uh
on
huh.
how people come out with how do they come out with their product or their presentation, or how do they go out and sell something, or whatever it is that they feel that they want to offer to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Like for a lot of creative, like even like for myself, it was hard to like determine what is it that I want to sell, what is it that I want to market, is it that I'm offering people that is worth a value to them, is what so that's one thing that I know a lot of people who want to get into the space are really stuck on, is like, how do I price it? What is it that I'm offering? What is it that I'm doing? What is it that I'm bringing to the table?
I think it's your experience, right? It's you that you're bringing to the table
Mhm.
because each one of us is unique, right? Because we've had different experiences.
Yes.
So, but somebody might be in the situation that you were in maybe 5 years ago, let's say, for example, and you know exactly how they're feeling. So you can help those people, and you've gone through it. You have the confidence now to say, look, I went through this and came out the other end. And I think it's that, to rely on your own experience. That's like, you can't deny that. And even if you tried, you can't deny that, right? Because it's an experience that you had. And to know that you've had that. And so you know that left and right. You know it inside out. That means that you can help someone that's in that position right now, that was in that position right now. So I think it's belief in yourself. And listen, I get coached a lot on this too, because, I always say, well, you know, and then people point out, well, you have this, you have this, you have that. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And then I finally, realize it. But I think we tend to forget our own accomplishments. And one of the tenets of neuroencoding, one of the things that I love about neuroencoding, which teach a lot of, is to celebrate yourself.
Mhm.
And none of us, all of us really have a hard time celebrating ourselves.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Like I can't like, and it was funny because you mentioned the boot camp that I took last week, and it was out of my price range, and they reached out to me again, and they really want to work with me, and they want willing to make another suggestion and pricing, and it's something that I'm really considering because it's something that I might be able to to cover financially, and so, but it's because of so much of what I bring. Like, I didn't realize it was because of I bring so much. Like one of the things they're teaching in their groups is how to launch a podcast, how to build a website. Okay,
You know
I've done
that.
that. I've done that. How to do this, and like how to publish books. Like
You know that.
I did that already. Like that, so it was like having this conversation with this person and realizing like a lot of the things they offer, I've kind of
Done.
done,
Mm-hmm.
and I've done it learning on my own, learning like researching and looking it up and finding these things out, and yeah, I could imagine how much more I would be better at if I did have that teaching, and so especially so there's so much to reflect on and look at it and be like, okay, yeah. So imagine if I could learn from someone who's mastered it, and learn how to implement it all and do everything. And
But
at the same time, if I don't want to put myself in a financial hole where
you don't.
so
You don't. Plus, like you said, a lot of those things that they're teaching, you've already done. You've already done it, and you know how to do it. So, you have to also weigh your priorities, right? Is it worth it? The value of it.
Oh, yeah, the stuff the
Yeah,
other stuff that they're offering, yes,
yeah,
like, sh helping me go and well, not yeah, well, to craft everything, I've already been doing that on my
hmm,
own, like, crafting my keynote speech,
yeah,
working on my abstract, that was part of the boot camp and
yeah,
everything, and so and even ideas for the video demo reels, I'm like, "Okay,
hmm,
this those are the things that I know I know thanks for the ideas, but I know I can as production-wise, yeah, because that's something they work for you, but
right.
I'm thinking to myself, like, "But I do production, like, I can do this too. I can
Yeah, you
produce
can
my
do
own
your
amount.
own,
I
yeah,
can do
speaker reel.
go I can go take even as if it's just stills, and I put myself somewhere on stage taking
Yep,
pictures, having like, all this and this all this I learned from the boot camp.
yeah,
So this was stuff that I'm like, "Okay, yeah," like, it's like, the course is amazing. I know it'll be worth every penny.
yeah.
But again, it's like,
But
do I
maybe, yeah, the
yeah,
timing.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I mean, there are many things that I look at and I'm like, oh, it would be great to do this, but it's not the right time financially to do it for me. Right now, financially, I need to be focusing on generating more income. And so I actually made a decision a couple weeks ago. Well, no, what especially after the retreat, I made a decision and I said to myself, I'll take any income generating opportunity that's presented to me as long as it's not illegal or immoral.
But okay, so we're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on that 'cause yeah, I get it. Yes, I get it, but you're maybe what is because I know you want what you wanna really do. Like, I know you wanna coach and help others, and that's your key thing, but,
Hmm.
let's focus on what your main clients are gonna be. Who is it that you wanna work with? Who is it that Yayoi wants to work with and be able to let's focus on that and not just anyone. You don't wanna just
No,
generate
it's not just
that's I know.
anyone.
Remember our words, this is something
Yes,
we all both know that our
yes,
words are very important on how we
yes,
dictate.
yes.
So
So my ideal client or my, what do you call, soulmate client?
yeah.
Yeah. So it would be man or woman, but I would say I lean towards women a lot.
Okay, so let's work on
Hmm.
that. Let's
Yeah,
maybe that be the demographic you just focus on, working
yeah,
with women.
uh, and that's what I've been focusing on recently. If men come, of course, I'm not going to turn them
And of course,
away.
no, you're not gonna turn check them out anyway, no.
Yeah, but I think most of them are women over 40 who are struggling who have been yo-yo dieting most of their life and are feeling that tightness from yo-yo dieting and being consumed by that because that's where I was.
Okay.
My whole life was consumed by that.
So okay, and so you know how all right, so now because you also want to launch your podcast, right?
Yes.
Which will is let them know what's the name of it.
Oh, I'll start on Monday.
Okay. So and then we also have a book and that you're working on that you're gonna get to and complete.
Yes, I will. I will. I I'm okay, I'm declaring I will complete it by the end of this year.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Imma hold you Imma listen,
You're going to hold me
we're
to
gonna
it. I know.
hold you to it because
I know.
you're saying you are, so okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Um but yeah, those are things that and I really know how to get through that because I found the freedom myself, from the yo-yo dieting.
Yeah.
And it was it wasn't easy. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it was really switching the way I thought about things. You know, switching rewiring my brain, rewiring my identity, really changing my identity to something that was more empowering. And I think we tend to forget. We think, you know, if you're like in this deep dark hole or whatever, the pit or whatever you want to call it, you know, the pit of despair. You could call it that. I don't know. Sounds like something out of Princess Bride, but um, it could be, you're in that space. You don't think that there's a way out, but there's always a way out. We just have to kind of sometimes stop and just say, wait, wait, wait. Let me just put a pause on what I'm doing and really reflect and look inside to see, what do I really want?
Yeah. And for me, as me personally, I have like that's one thing I've really had to work on is like niche and like what is it? What's my code? Do I want to help people launch podcasts or do I want to help them? Like that, it was like, all right, what is it that you really want to do? Who is it that you really want to help? What is it that you want? Do you want to help people who are grieving, or do you want to help people who are struggling with this? Or and it becomes a struggle within yourself. Like, okay, where am I needed?
Yeah,
Or what is the most important, or what is it, where is it that I speak, I have so much experience in it, what is it I want to talk on? And so it's like so many things
yeah,
going on in my head,
I hear you.
and so when you struggle with those things, it's just like, all right, I need to really niche it down. I really need to know where's my core audience, where is it that I want to be at.
And but like I have the brain to belly people, right? Which
Yeah,
is really the yo-yo dieting that I want to help them find that freedom. But I'm also an expat. I know about expat life, about identity, you know, um, and there are many areas that I can help people in. But my expertise, I guess the one that speaks the loudest to me is the brain to belly part of it, the, health and weight and body image part of it, because that's the part that I'm most passionate about. And, but it all ties in,
it does, but
but I guess for
I'm,
marketing purposes.
I'm learning that more and more that I need to just key on. This is what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can speak on so many different other things.
Yep.
This is where I want to focus my energy on, and that's where I've been lacking at. That's where like having been able to focus, and
Yeah.
'cause there's so much to do with what I want. So what I truly want to do is being able to help. This is my pitch now. My is being able to help coaches, entrepreneurs get into the media space. Like, I
Mm.
want to show them how to launch their podcast, how to take publish books and use these tools as basically your business cards.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm gearing to that. These are the people. This is how I want to help people. Like,
That's a great idea, and I love that. I'm benefiting from knowing you as a friend and learning so much from you. But I think that's a great tool, and that's something that you know how to do. You're passionate about, and you know, I think what we both need is, well, for me, I want people to know me as a brain to belly lady. That's what I always say. And it's because I want them to come to me as knowing me as the expert on this. And that's what I try to project, or show when I'm anywhere. Um, and that's why I push brain to belly a lot, because that is my signature. That's my signature.
yeah,
That's what I want people to know me as. And that's, I want people to say, oh, well, if I want to lose weight and I'm really struggling, brain to belly, that lady, that Asian lady that talks about brain to belly. But even if it's that, that is a way to attract the people and to get to the people that need the help.
yeah,
And so that's kind of like what I started branding myself as, and I've been doing that for what, about 3 years now, 2 years, 3
mhm,
years. Yeah. And I love it. I love doing that. I love saying this is what my expertise is. And it is.
yeah, and this and that's where I'm like, this is where I'm at. This is the space where like I've built podcasts, I've
Mm-hmm.
launched books,
Mm-hmm.
and I know coaches and entrepreneurs, they need these as
They do.
calling cards. These are basically calling cards to use to help inspire people. Like, hey, listen, this is this is what I'm doing. This is
Yeah,
my journey. This is my book, or this is my podcast. Here we go.
yeah. I think, yeah, that's actually a great thing, and you can start marketing. I mean, that's something to market to, um, emerging coaches and entrepreneurs, because a lot of people want to get into that
Hmm.
and they just don't know how,
Yeah,
and they struggle. And having both the podcast and the book is really important, and building websites, because I can't tell you how many people struggle with building their own websites.
and
And
that's something I've built my website,
me too, me too. I'm
and
practicing.
and that's because it was something like I wanted to learn. It was something I wanted to learn,
Me too.
and now if someone has that, yeah, I can show you how to build a website. Like my wife she was talking to one of her, she does taxes with someone, and they want a logo, and she's like, "Oh, my husband does that." Like, "Oh yeah, I got to build a website too." "Oh, my husband does that too."
Yeah.
So she sees that like, and but she's always been getting me like a lot of the work I've been side work I've been doing has been work she's gotten through her company, through her job, and like I've done PowerPoint presentations, like I've created
Creative.
PowerPoint
Yeah.
presentations and slides and all, and so those are side works that she like gotten for me, and I've designed a logo for a business for her friend, a cleaning business a couple of years ago. So she throws me the business because she sees that I'm capable of doing the work. So now I've been
She's your.
commissioned to do a logo for her and her partner's tax service, and then a couple other side things I gotta get completed to get paid soon. But
That's
the
great.
again, these are skills that I've learned through podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these are things that I've learned because I started my podcast. If it wasn't for me starting my podcast, wouldn't have developed any of these skills. Why? Because I wouldn't have needed to develop logos for myself,
Exactly.
or develop anything that I've done created is because of me learning to podcast,
Yeah.
me getting involved. This was the drive. This is the meeting that started it all. Was
Yeah.
me getting into podcasting
Yeah.
and developing these skills and developing these relationships and these networks, which is something that I am very passionate about. Is letting people know, connecting and building with other people
Yeah.
and building relationships, and that's something that I just got a message the other day, not that long ago, from Meta saying that they're gonna start pushing my content out more of because of the consistency
Mm-hmm.
and because of the content because of what it is that I'm pushing out, the positivity and their focus. So and
That's
I
great.
was like, all right, I'm excited. Like
That's great. Congratulations.
it's
Yay.
not this is just yes, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not gonna not
Yeah.
downplay it. That isn't big. It is
Yeah.
big to me, but it's just the beginning. Like this is just the beginning, and this I want everybody that I'm associated with to be successful. I want
Yeah.
everybody to, and I know not everyone's gonna be able to go, but it's not because of lack of trying. I don't want it because anybody who I'm associated with and hanging out with or doing anything with, I want to push them and encourage them to be the best that they can.
Of
And
course.
so they know if my friends are doing something and I see something that might work with what they're doing, I have no problem suggesting like, hey, maybe you might want to do a segment like this or do this or and to see them implement it and see them like, oh yeah, that's right, that might work better with this or work. It's those things that um you love to see,
Yes.
and people appreciate that. People appreciate when you can be honest and tell them that, hey, maybe you might want to reword like that title is just extremely long for
Yeah.
for your brand. Like
Yeah.
like there's certain things and those are just things you do as a friend, as a mentor, as anything, as a coach. And like if you see someone that you can help and they can benefit from your help,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Totally. Totally. I agree 100%. And I mean, it's great to actually, when you're doing a creative thing, it's great to have somebody to bounce off those ideas too,
Mhm.
because sometimes when you're bouncing it off yourself, it's really, or with ChatGPT, there's a limit to it, right?
Yeah, no, no. You have to take what you and it's like, again, and it's not that I don't use AI. I use AI to help me. It's helped me. It's a tool. I use it for what it
Yeah,
is. Again,
me
people are
too.
out here creating whole shows out of AI. Just no, just take just and then they're taking whatever the front whatever prompt is and just putting it and using it. They're not really and like I use AI differently. I use it more as an artistic tool and
As
I
it
really
should.
am careful with what the prompts that I want implemented and how I want. I'm very detailed with that. I really want the right prompt in and so I don't just go and accept every prompt and just no. I'm really and I take whatever I want and use implement whatever like, it's
See?
helped me structure my shows so much easier. I don't people are always do no, I'm still the key part of my show. I'm just using AI to make it easier for me.
Right. And that's the way it should be. It's a tool to simplify your life, to give you back a few more minutes of your life.
Mhm.
To me, it clears up the overwhelm a lot. Like I've got like this, and this I have to do. How can I organize it? Help me organize it so that it's more timely, or I can, function better so that I have more time for this or that. And I think that's what it's supposed to be, for our convenience, to
Yeah,
help us do our work. It's not to be 100% relied on.
and that's where a lot of people are failing is you still have to
Put
put
your
some work into it.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I get it. Yeah, like, I wanna use so a lot of people were that was one of the big things recently about and YouTube didn't really say that they were gonna not monetize AI content. They didn't say that. They were
Hmm.
just not gonna monetize content that was just being reused,
Mm.
like, over and, like so but people was running with, "Oh, well, they're not gonna monetize AI." That's not what they said. They said they're gonna not monetize like, content you take from someone else and reuse it and so and I get it. I understand. So there are people out there, yes, they're creating these faceless YouTube channels that are generating hundreds and hundreds of millions of views and getting monetized and I can't knock it because listen, they found a way
Hmm.
around the algorithm
Right.
and but what does that mean for content creators like yourself and me and myself that we really do focus on the content that we put out there and we do really work on the message we're trying to deliver and it's original content. It's evergreen content. It's content that it's gonna be relevant for years to come
Yeah.
because people are still gonna go through what we're struggling through today, as far as imposter syndrome and the self doubt and
Procrastination.
all these yeah
Yeah.
all this these are stuff that this is just life.
Yep.
So
Yep. And I think what it you said it. Basically what it is it's evergreen, because these are the struggles that everyone goes through. And it's also the integrity piece, because when something's created by AI completely, you can feel that something's not right. And there are apps out there right now that can detect, I don't know, or they claim that they detect it's AI, it's written by AI or it was produced by AI. But the thing is, what really counts is your heart, right?
mhm,
And what you're projecting. And I think at the end of the day, if you are happy with what you did, I think that's what matters the most.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, sure, I'd like to generate millions a month dollars. That would be great, but at what cost to my heart, to my integrity?
yeah. No, and that was something that even recently, like I'm not gonna lie, like the last few episodes, like have really like, I've switched the format on Stuck in My Mind, right? And I've broken it down into 3 rounds of questions,
Mhm.
and one round is it's just it works out. It just has made the conversation so much. It's gone so much smoother, and the show has been so much better. And I feel like it's really been um really some really great content, and it's been the guests. It really has been the guests that I've had on and the conversations I've had. And one of my guests, she was amazing. I thought she was a PR person, right? No. She's a business entrepreneur, business coach and all this. And the people she sent to me were her friends.
Wow.
She was like, "Yo, I think you should do more podcasts. Here, look, I found this podcast you could be on." And she sent me like 4 or 5 people. So I thought she was a PR person. And actually I had her on the show as a guest. She was on the show recently, and she's not PR. I was like, "Yo, honestly," and we would laugh about the whole show about it. I was like, "Honestly, you do an amazing job because you made sure I got their headshots, you made sure I got their biography." Like, I honestly thought this is what you did, and it wasn't. And so, shout out to Angela Lewis, by the way. She's amazing. But, and so I think I'm yeah, I need to link you up with her, and you need to speak to her as
I
well.
do.
She's
Yeah.
awesome, and it was just like she does. I do that for all my connect. That's she's like, that's something important to me is building networks. And she says, and I just thought your show was great, and here you go. Here's a great guest. And she's like, hopefully we'll build a relationship. And I'm like, hell yeah, like why not? Like this is what I'm in here for is to build a network and connect with people like yourself.
Mhm.
That if this is how you look out for your friends, and like, yeah, I want to be your friend then.
Yep. And I think those are the magical connections that we have, that we find through our work, right?
Hmm.
And I think that's something that I love about what we do, because I'm a people person, of course, but and so I love meeting new people. And when the chemistry is right, when you click with a person, it's like so magical because so many things start happening.
Yeah,
And it's like with any friendship, right? When you can meet a lot of people, and I have a lot of acquaintances, but when you start clicking with people, with certain people, you develop something more. And I think that that's really what life is about, right?
yeah,
About those connections that we make. I mean, I was very, very fortunate that I even met Steve Wright.
yeah,
I know we mention him a lot because he's our mutual acquaintance, but if it weren't for him, we wouldn't have met. So,
yeah,
and like even him, he was part of neuroencoding, and he finished the program, and that was it. And I had just decided that I wanted to do something where, because our classes are all on Zoom and stuff, and I was like, I kind of want a space where I can talk to my fellow classmates, not just in Facebook, but like a Zoom call or something where we could just meet and talk.
yeah,
And so I created this thing a couple years ago in neuroencoding, called Fabulous Friends on Fridays, right? That was my thing. And it's a 1 hour Zoom on Fridays where we get together and just chat about our challenges and, also our wins. And if we had ideas, we'd swap ideas. And it was just for neuroencoders, so that instead of saying something on Facebook, we just had a general place where we could just talk without instructors, without,
yeah.
faculty and the administration looking at it, right? Because sometimes we just need to do that.
Mhm.
So I did that, and Steve used to come to that frequently. And I didn't know him when he was in class. And then, but he started coming on, and then I started to get to know him, and I'm like, oh, he's kind of a cool guy.
Yeah.
And then we find out that, he's my birthday twin as well. But yeah. So that was kind of cool. And I think it's really those connections that make a difference, because I still, I met him, what, maybe 3 years ago, maybe 2, 3 years ago, and we're still always in touch.
Mhm.
And I think those friendships that come out of these connections that we make are so important for us because they shape who we are too.
Yeah. No,
And
absolutely.
hmm I think, like, John Maxwell says this, and so does Tony Robbins, right? They say the 5 people
You surround yourself, yeah.
you surround yourself with is so important because they are going to be a reflection of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm lucky, right? Because the relationships I've built with the people online and the connections I've made with the people online are relation and it's people that I constantly reach out to and speak to constantly on probably on a daily basis or at least once a week or whatever it is. Like, you communicate and have those relationships because those are people that are doing things that I wanna do, and and to learn, like, one of the things I learned, like, okay, if I can't one of the things that I'm gonna make happen is, alright, if I can't find stages to speak on, then I'm gonna have to bring the stage to me. Like,
Yep.
I'm gonna have to
Yep.
come and create it, and so I have a friend who does webinars and who knows how to do all these things, 'cause that's something I don't know, but I know that he knows his stuff, and I know he's willing to help me do it and generate and build from it, and because we've built that relationship because he knows that I support his journey and what he's doing because and you've met Jeff. Jeff is amazing with
Hmm.
doing what he's doing with Duty and
Oh,
the theater and everything,
yes.
and so that's a relationship that I am greatly appreciative of because he's such a wonderful person, and when we went to Pittsburgh, me and my wife, he took us out to dinner and we had dinner with his family, and so it's those relationships that, like, you really get to meet interact and get to know people and know them
Yep.
as a person, and it's just like, "Alright, these are the people you wanna grow with. These are the
Yeah.
people you wanna build with. These are one of the people if you take off, you wanna lift them up as well,
Yeah.
because
So true.
these are hardworking people just as you, and you've seen their growth and seen what they're capable of, and so I know that I won't be as successful without his help and without the help of others,
Yeah.
and so if I'm taking off, they're all coming with me. Anybody who's with me and associated with me because it took more than just myself to build me up.
Yep.
It's taken a lot of people to help me develop and grow.
Yep, and I totally agree with you. That's one of the things that you have to be really mindful of who you hang out with. And I remember as a kid, my parents would say, who you hang out is really important, right? And I was like, doesn't matter, whatever, right? But as I got older, I was like, yeah, they were right. But
Not so much as a kid, yeah, well, yeah, because if you hung out with the wrong person, you get in trouble anyway. Yeah,
yeah,
you're
you
right.
got in trouble, right?
Yeah, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes,
But
but
we won't tell them that because they'll be like, "I told you so." Like,
yeah. No, we don't want to say that to kids anymore because, yeah. And, but really, it's the 5 people you hang out with, which is really important, I think, because it really does shape you.
mhm, yeah,
And
that's
choose wisely is what I say.
and listen, like I said, I've been, fortunate enough to make some great friendships and that I said that are lifelong friendships, like, the friendships that I've built in the past 5 years in podcasting and because like the people when I first started podcasting, we were all in the same boat. We were all suffering from the pandemic, like getting over the pandemic, and we're still in the height of the pandemic. And then even right after it, the year right after, it's still a lot of us recovering from all this whatever the trauma and everything from the
Right,
pandemic and everything. So we have that to like bridge us together. Like we've from all walks of life, but that's what united us. That's what brought us together, and that's what our relationship was built on. Was going experiencing that, but now that we've gotten to know each other, we've really got all right. This is he's really good. this person's really a great person at this and you start really just start like for me, I know there's certain people that I've had to stop associating with because they didn't need the drama in my life. Like
Yeah,
that's
I hear
not
you.
what this is about. I want to focus and surround myself with people that is going to uplift me and bring something positive to whatever I'm creating.
Yeah, and
'Cause that's what I'm bringing to the table is being positive and uplifting and encouraging any of my friends to be the best version of themselves possible.
yeah, and I think that's wonderful. And I think that's great because time is limited. Time is something that is finite, and sadly, you know, and I want to use my time wisely and spend it with the people that I want to spend it with. I don't want to spend time with people that I don't really care about.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm more choosy about who I go out with or what I do because some people I really don't care to hang out with.
So you mentioned like one of the things I got from you because you've experienced it was you went away to the retreat, and I'm like, man, I want to. That's something I would love to put together as a retreat for content creators,
Yeah,
but content creators that I know that I want to work with, that I want us to like that whole week that we're there, we're just all collaborating and creating different stuff, and so I'm like working out a list of who would I want to invite and who or if it's going to be all men or is it going to be men and women or
right.
if they're going to be comfortable enough to be so that's why I'm like all right, I can make it happen. I know some amazing people that will work and would love to do something where it's just a week of just maybe even workshops on how to improve on something or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Like have special guest speakers, like have
Yeah.
you or whoever come in or
Oh,
so, yeah, there's different things.
yeah. But that would be great. I mean, I love retreat. This retreat was something that was really special for me, and it really had a big influence on me. And I'm still that energy that came and all the breakthroughs that I got from that are helping me right now to do the things I'm doing right now. I think earlier we had mentioned the K-pop thing, and so I was singing that song all day in the morning, right? I was singing different songs from that soundtrack, and I was walking my dog, and I was doing my small bites as usual. And then for some reason, I was doing my small bites. I was talking about freedom from yo-yo dieting because the song I was listening to was called Free and blah, blah, blah. And then I don't know why, but at the end I said, "Oh, and if you'd like to learn more about I am statements and identity, I'll be doing a webinar on Thursday night." And I just announced that. And I'm like, after that, I was like, oh crap, now I got to really
Or
do
whoever
this
the on
webinar.
Thursday.
So I'm actually doing a webinar tonight.
Oh, tonight? At what
Yeah,
time?
8:30.
Uh,
So, and it'll be streaming into Brain to Belly, my Facebook group, and I still have to send a link out to people, but yeah, but I will be doing that. And it's just on identity and creating a positive I am statement. I
okay.
am whatever.
Do you have
So,
it worked out already? Like,
yeah, yeah, that I have. So, I'll be doing that tonight. Yeah. So, but that came out of, you know, from the retreat and feeling good about myself, feeling positive,
yeah.
feeling more confident in who I am and what I have. And I guess it just kind of
I think
slipped out.
I need to do that. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna just challenge myself. Like, I'm gonna put a water bottle on something and
Yeah.
whatever it is.
So that was my challenge, and I guess yes, that's why I'll be doing it tonight.
Awesome, awesome. All right, but
So
again, we had another great episode.
yep,
Thank you again for being such a great co-host. I love it.
thank
This is
you.
amazing, amazing. But if you want to reach out to us, you can reach me out to me at well, it's a new email now, so it's wise at realwiseglobal.com. Um, I'll put that up in descriptions and everything. But yeah,
Yeah, and for me, you can scan the QR code or find Brain to Belly. And my website is braintobellycoaching.com. So my contact information is all in there as well. So reach out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Forgot. Yeah. Definitely go out to realwiseglobal.com. Check it out. Everything's there for the books, podcasts, the YouTube channels. Everything is on there. Go check it out. We're greatly appreciated. Show the support. Sign up for the newsletters, weekly newsletter, and everything else. So thank you. And have a great day, everybody. Peace out.
Have a great day, everyone. Peace out.